course, because if you remember with exteriors, pretty much we used to have like like the moods, right? Do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that was
Mhm.
like the classic approach, right? And for interiors also, I update the project. So, for example, if you remember for exteriors, we study this one. Do you remember? For
Yeah.
exteriors, we
Mhm.
use this
Mhm.
one, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Now I update the content, but pretty much it is the same approach, but it's only the different is the project is different. It's a
Mhm.
different
Mhm.
house.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. So I did the same with interiors.
Mhm.
Let me show you. This was the original interiors. Yeah, this was
Yeah.
the original project for interiors. And after that, I update the project, and also right now I have a new project, also a really nice project, but are the same techniques to be honest. It's
Uh-huh.
only the
Mhm.
project that is new,
Mhm.
but also we're going to study the same technique. So let me show you the new one.
Uh-huh.
This is
Well,
the
I can
new
see
one.
everything.
Yeah, probably
Really,
you have
everything is
seen
cool.
this.
I saw like it's with a special flavor. It's correct to say by the pictures that they have a flavor.
Yeah, in some way, it's like the mood itself. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
can like this. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, so this is like the new version of the course. This is like the 2.0 version of the interior lining with more interesting, concepts. Also the lining.
Mm-hmm.
I play a little bit more creative with,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the mood. You know, like creating all of these. Can you see?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is directly inside 3D. It's not post production trick or whatever. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
inside 3D. So yeah,
So
this
cool.
is the content that pretty much we are going to studying also really other cool techniques. Okay,
Yeah, super.
great. For interior project, let me tell you that I found two different styles for
Mm-hmm.
interior project. Okay, this is different because for exteriors, in my opinion, is only one style. You know, photorealistic,
Yeah.
and that's it. Yeah, photorealistic. But for interiors, I found two styles. The first one, probably I can say this one, it is like the natural lighting approach,
Mm-hmm.
natural. And this kind of visualization is what I call the commercial lighting approach.
Mm-hmm.
This
Mm-hmm.
one. Yeah. As you can see, it's two completely different things, are not even close. Yeah. Here on the right, I have the commercial one,
Yeah.
and here, sorry, on the left, I have the
Mm-hmm.
commercial, and on the right, I have the natural. As you can
Mm-hmm.
see, are different, are
Yeah.
completely different. We are going to study both styles.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you that the commercial approach is really easy to do. You are going to feel very familiar because you know how to do that. Probably the new techniques are going to be more interesting for you about the natural approach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the commercial approach is dedicated for clients mainly, like magazines, websites, and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. And the commercial and the natural project is more about like a personal portfolio and sometimes for contest also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
Mm-hmm.
contest. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
great. So let's start with the commercial one because this is pretty much the easy one.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So let's talk about the commercial. Let's talk about the main characteristic because as you remember, I always work with reference and it's important first understand the reference and after that, jump to 3ds Max and play
Mm-hmm.
with the tools. Okay, first characteristic about the commercial lighting is the behavior of the light. Okay. Oh, by the way, Xenia, also, if you want to record the lesson, it's completely fine. Okay. If you want to go here to Skype, and here you have the option where you can record.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to help you to see the lesson and save the lesson for any other time. So go here where it says more, and here you have start recording. Yeah, so you can
Start
record it also.
recording.
It's fine. Okay,
Uh-huh.
great. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I think you start to record. I guess. Okay, so the behavior of the light. The behavior of the light in the commercial lighting approach, the light is going to be really flat.
Mm-hmm.
What means flat? Same intensity of the light here. Can you see?
Mm-hmm.
It's not changing too much the intensity of the light. So that is really important. Second characteristic, we are going to talk about the shadows. The shadows in a commercial project must be really soft shadows, okay? Blurred shadows, no high contrasted, no dark shadows, okay? So really soft shadows, and only a little bit. Don't introduce cast shadows in the interior, please. It's not going to look nice, okay? So the less shadows you introduce, the better, but you always need to introduce at least a little bit of shadows in your commercial interior, because if everything is just too much perfect, it's going to look fake. Okay, so I do not recommend to do that. Okay, next characteristic. Let's talk about the temperature, the saturation, and the contrast. The temperature in this specific approach must be completely neutral, and the reason is pretty much obviously you're working for a client that the clients want to see exactly that color, right? Exactly that specific texture. If you introduce like a warm or cold temperature, that is going to affect the color of the material. Okay, for that reason, it's going to be better, 100% better, try to keep a really neutral temperature. The white balance must be the most perfect possible. Okay. Talking about the saturation also is really important. No matter which color palette you're going to use, no matter, like warm colors, cold colors, whatever color you want to use, try to establish the same saturation for all the colors. As you can see here, I have different colors. I have yellow, I have orange, I have these other colors here. But all these colors has the same intensity, as you can see. There is no color that are more saturated than other one. Can you see? Even the bottle of juice, I think is orange juice, are not saturated. It's really similar. Can you see the saturation of this yellow with the saturation of this yellow? So, in other words, we have to create a, a harmony in the saturation. Okay, great. The same with the contrast. Try to play with the contrast in the medium amount. No high contrast, no low contrast. Just the contrast in the middle. Okay? Great. Next characteristic. Let's talk about the imperfections in the materials, because also this is really interesting. A lot of visualizers, a lot of CG artists or 3D artists, they like to introduce little imperfections in the material, right? For example, one of the most common imperfections are the dirties, right? The dirties, the fingerprints, the scratches, the dust, yeah, whatever. In this particular approach, I do not recommend introduce any kind of imperfections in the material, because remember, this is for selling, and nobody wants to buy something that looks already old or looks already used. Okay, so be careful with that. But there is one exception, and the exception is the style of the interior design. As you can see here, I'm using these chairs that looks a little bit vintage, because can you see? Yeah, this is an exception. It's not something that I do it because I wanted. It's because the style of the chair already comes like this, like dirties and things like that. Okay, that is the only exception. Great. Next characteristic. Let's talk about the lens effect. If you remember, in the lens effect, we have the bloom, we have the glare, we have the vignetting, we have the chromatic aberration. Okay, it's not a good idea use this in commercial lighting approach. The reason, because the lens effects are considered as a mistakes. The lens effects are errors, okay? So professional photographers, professional interior photographers, they like to remove that errors from the picture. They don't like to add. They prefer to remove that. Okay, great. And so far, do you have any question, or we're doing good?
Yeah, we're doing good. I only would like to ask how you create this woman inside. I was thinking
Oh,
it's a model or it's a Photoshop.
it's Photoshop. It's
It's
2D. Yeah,
Photoshop
it's 2D. Yeah, it's 2D.
because I was looking
Yeah,
and think very interesting.
yeah, yeah. It's 2D. And now let's talk about one of the most, probably one of the most important characteristic, and it's about the bracketing. Have you heard about the bracketing?
Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
The bracketing is the compensation, sorry,
It's okay.
is the compensation of the exposure that you have inside and the exposure that you have outside.
Uh-huh.
So pretty much this is one of the most common requirements when you're working with clients for interior renderings. The client always wants to see what is happening outside in the more perfect way. This is called bracketing. But the problem is the more perfect you see the exterior, the more fake it's going to
Mm-hmm.
look. Can
Yeah.
you see?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my suggestion for bracketing is don't be aggressive with the compensation of the exposure. Actually, this, in my opinion, looks more natural. Can you see how it looks the
Mm-hmm.
outside?
Yeah.
You can see the outside, but the outside looks washed out, looks
Mm-hmm.
without contrast. But if you compare with this, the outside looks too much perfect. Feels fake.
Absolutely. And
Can
you
you
can
see?
do normal
Feels
to feel nothing about the interior things because your attention is total
ex
outside.
exactly, and we don't want to do that. So
Mm-hmm.
for that
Mm-hmm.
reason, in my opinion, don't do like this. Also,
Mm.
sorry, take in consideration, this is real estate professional photography and looks absolutely fake this
Yeah.
background. Yeah,
Absolutely.
don't do like this. This is not a really good idea. And the reason that I really like to explain this is because I know that a lot of clients they love to see what is happening outside.
Mm-hmm.
You can you can talk with your client and say, okay, I'm going to show you what is happening outside, but I'm not going to show you in a perfect way. Must be
Mm-hmm.
affected by the fog, must be affected by the air, must be affected of the atmospheric effect, and it's going to look like this: a little bit washed out and a little bit with a cold or warm temperature, depending on the reference.
Mm-hmm.
That is different. Can you see?
Yeah.
This, in my opinion, is like a medium bracketing
Mm-hmm.
exposure. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
looks good. You can see the exterior, but the exterior is not looking perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not looking perfect. Okay, great, fantastic. And as I mentioned before, sadly, yeah, the bracketing it's necessary in commercial projects. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's necessary. The only thing is don't make it perfect. Don't make it perfect. That is my best advice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now that we understand the main characteristics, now we can jump to the project. Okay, so let's work and let's create a line. Okay, so this is the scene that we're going to use.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a Corona bitmap. My workflow just change a little bit. I'm not going to use the V-Ray HDRI anymore. Now I'm using full Corona tools. So
Really?
yeah, full Corona tools. This is the only difference in comparison with the previous lesson. Right now, rather than use the V-Ray HDRI, I'm going to use the Corona bitmap in order to load the HDRI. That is
You
the only
mean for not
difference.
commercial projects? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, uh, what kind of HDRI can you suggest me if I'm not going to have shadows in interior? Which kind of HDRI do you think could be a good idea to use?
Oh, I don't remember them so perfectly.
An overcast. Do you remember? Because an overcast already comes with the sun really weak. The
Mm-hmm.
sun is really like low intensity, so the overcast is going to do the job. Okay,
Uh-huh.
so I highly recommend the 0902. So yeah, there you go. Now, as you can see, there is no inverse gamma option in order to control this. So what I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to do is I'm going to add a Corona color correct here. So choose the Corona color correct and put it here. Yeah. Keep all map as a submap. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. Now here I'm going to be able to control the HDRI, the saturation, the hue, the gamma, the temperature, and the exposure.
Mm-hmm.
That is even better in comparison with the V-Ray HDRI because I have more options that allows me to customize the HDRI. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
great. So I'm going to change the name and I'm going to call this one main HDRI. Now go to your Corona render setup enable the single map, and drag and drop this, right? Instance. And that's it. Simple as that. Now let's start the interaction. By the way, a year ago I bought a new computer.
Oh, really?
More powerful computer,
Oh,
a more faster
congratulations.
computer. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so now the course is going to flow even better because this is this is a really fast machine.
Super. We bought two because I was changing my place. I didn't bring my computer here.
Oh, that's great.
And we bought the last from HP. Um, the last,
HP. Yeah, it's a good brand. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
good
the
brand.
last one of the model, complete one.
Yeah, that's good. That's
And
great. Also,
the last time the render
congratulations.
that I created, it was for 2 hours that I was showed you pictures.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, it's super fast. Yeah, that's super fast.
But not
Yeah,
the maximum perfect one. Of course, it's possible to upgrade it for a lot of thousand. When we will be
yeah,
rich, we will create.
yeah. I have to wait like 10 years to upgrade my computer. So yeah, I know
It's
what
not
it
the
means.
perfect
I know
yet.
what it means. Great. So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing that we're going to do after load HDRI, of course, is the exposure balance. Okay, for the exposure balance, what we're going to do is increase exposure, right?
Yeah.
And in the areas that you see the bright, you remember, we can measure by pressing the right click and see the tone mapped sRGB, right? The one that is in the middle. As you can see, it's really high. It's above 1. So the idea is that value must be under 1. Because if the value is 1.3, 1.3, 1.4, that means it's overexposed. So how to fix this problem is by increasing the highlight contrast, right? For example, 2, I measure again, still high, still high. So I'm going to add more, 3, measure again. Yeah, now it's 0.9, 0.9, 0.9. But you need to measure this, you need to sample this in the brighter areas of the interior. For example, here, the edge of the window, the frame of the window looks still high, can you see?
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably I'm going to go for a 6, and I think probably that is going to, yeah, that is going to fix the problem. 0.9, 0.9, 0.9. Okay, there you go. So I'm going to rescue a little bit more of exposure, and that's it. Yeah, a little bit of contrast also. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, now I'm going to do a region. Okay. Now, what is also different, it is in the way that is going to rotate the HDRI. Let me explain you because this is new. If you remember with the V-Ray HDRI, the zero, when you rotate HDRI, the zero was here, if I don't remember bad, right? It was zero, and the rotation was 0, 90, 180 to 70, goes like this. When you're using the Corona bitmap, the HDRI is going in the opposite way. And the zero is going to be here. Here is going to be now the zero. So it's 0. Oh no, sorry. The zero is going to be, yeah, the zero is going to be also here. Sorry, here,
But
here,
only
here.
for opposite.
Yeah, and it's going to rotate in an opposite way, anti-clockwise. So 0, 90, 180, 270. In V-Ray HDRI, the zero was here, sorry. When V-Ray HDRI, the zero was here. Now the zero is here. Okay? Now, if I want to put the sun in front of the windows, how many degrees I have to rotate, Xenia? If I want to put it here.
180.
180, exactly. Yeah. Simple as that. Now, what we can see is a difference in the temperature.
Yeah.
When the sun was in 0, as I mentioned before, the sun was at the back of the apartment, and there is no windows at the back, so pretty much looks kind of cold. See? But right now that I'm putting the sun in front of the window, it starts to look warm. Can you see? It starts to look a little bit more yellowish. You can see the difference, okay? How to fix this? Well, very simple. Now that I have access to the Corona Color Correct, you can go to the Corona Color Correct, and first of all, you're going to desaturate. You're going to remove all the color information from the HDRI. -1 and enter, okay? And after that, you can rebalance your white temperature by, for example, decreasing the temperature here, not anymore here in the white balance. We are going to correct the temperature in the HDRI, okay? No here in the HDRI. So you can decrease a little bit, not too much, until you feel absolutely neutral. Check the difference. This is white and this is kind of bluish color. Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
It's not yellow anymore, it's just white. And this is how you can balance, how you can correct the HDRI until you get, the more pure white color. It's better to correct the temperature in the HDRI in comparison to correct the white balance. Use this white balance is like, how can I say, like like using makeup. It's only in the surface. It's only in the surface. But this is different because you are correcting the HDRI map. So that is different. Yeah, and there you go. This is how easily you can create a commercial line. Yeah, it's super, super easy to do. It's not going to require a difficult process. HDRI is going to reproduce really soft shadows in the interior, no hard shadows. Yeah, there you go.
You didn't create, for example, the light. Oh, I forgot everything. How to name a light? I mean that all the light system, when you create visualization by the interior, it's only by the HDRI map, and no one
Yeah,
sun, no one.
no, yeah, exactly. No Corona sun, no Corona sky. I think is more easy with this one. Yeah, it's more easy.
So the system
Yeah,
consists only by the bitmap, and in this kind of situation, by the bitmap.
exactly. Yeah, for commercial, yes. Now let me show you. Let me show you this interior. No, interior design photography. I think it is. Okay. If you take a look to the reference, you are going to see that some of the reference can have a really strong highlights, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, what about if the client asks you something like this? Xenia, I would like to see some shadows in interior. Depends on the client. Some clients that when the client knows about professional photography, as you can see, this is the tendency. The tendency for commercial photography is really flat light. Can you see?
Yeah.
It's really, really, really flat light. But the clients are, I don't know, they have different personal tastes. But if the client asks you for something like this, Xenia, I would like to see some shadows, looks really boring or whatever, I like to see highlights in interior, I like to see shadows in interior and things like that. How to create that effect? Let me show you. Sorry. Let me show you in the previous search. One second. For example, like this. Yeah, this is a good example. What about if the client wants to see something like this? Well, really easy. The first thing that I need to do is, of course, I'm going to create another HDRI. Okay, I'm going to create another HDRI. Or you can customize the same one as you want. But this time, rather than select overcast HDRI that is going to give me soft shadows, I'm going to select a daylight HDRI. You remember, for example, the 1658 was a really good for daylight, right? So I'm going to choose the 1658. Yeah. I know that this is going to give me cast shadows. And now I need to add it also a Corona color correct. Yeah, put it here. Great. Now I'm going to put this HDRI number 2 and I'm going to put it here. Sorry, in the environment. I'm going to replace. Oh, also, rather than replace, we have this multiple map slide mix that we're going to start it in one of the next lessons. But anyway, I'm going to show you later how to work that. Okay? Yeah, right now I put it. One second. Yeah, this is the HDRI. Yeah, there you go. Now, every single time that you put an HDRI, remember that when it is in 0, the sun is going to be pointing from the back to the front, right? So I need to rotate in front of the window. So how many degrees? 180. Yeah, and there you go. What is happening? All my white balance were destroyed. No more white balances. Right now looks yellowish, looks really awkward, Okay, first fill. Let's try to correct this. So I'm going to do a region in order you can see the before and after. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. First, I need also to desaturate, remove the color from the HDRI. So put it -1. Yeah. Now what I need to do also, it is I need to rebalance exposure. There you go. And also make it slightly, I think it's slightly cold, just in order to feel better the white. Can you see the difference? This is
Mhm.
white and this is yellowish temperature. Yeah.
Yeah.
And these are the shadows. How to customize the shadows depending of the reference. For example, here the shadows looks kind of sharp. If you want to have more sharp shadows, what you need to do is decrease the gamma. Now, this is the gamma that we used to have in VRHDRI, call it inverse gamma. Here in Corona is only call it gamma, but works in the same way. So if you want more sharp shadows, more dark shadows, you
Mhm.
need to go down. That is going to make your highlights more aggressive, but also your shadows are going to be more sharp. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what about if you want to have like soft shadows? I don't know. The client see
Mhm.
another reference, and the shadows looks like kind of soft shadows. No, this is sharp. Let me see an example with kind of like a blurred highlights. Let me see. Um, where the light it's not. Yeah, this for example. Can you see?
Mhm.
Looks more
Mhm.
blurred. Yeah,
Yeah.
looks more
Good.
softer.
Mhm.
Yeah, if you want to do like that, it's you need to go up. So for example, I'm going to do like 1.5 for example. Yeah, I reestablished exposure and check how subtle. Too much. 1.3 I'm going to
Yeah.
use.
Mhm.
Check how soft looks now the shadows in
Yeah.
comparison with it. Yeah, looks soft and looks blurry. If you want to blur it even more, if this is not enough for you, also go back to the Corona bitmap and here at the bottom you have the blur it option. Select by cubic smoother and blur it. For example, I'm going to blur it, I don't know, like 10 times. 10. And every single time it's going to look
Mhm.
more blurred and more blurred until you achieve like the right amount. Can you see? Now
Yeah.
it's not also blurred, also looks really soft. Can you see the difference?
Absolutely.
So in my opinion, this is easy to customize, better, easier than play with the Corona Sun, Corona Sky.
Mhm.
But anyway, it's my personal technique that I like to use. And
Yeah.
this
It
is in the
makes you more
case,
comfortable. Mhm.
exactly, this is in the case that the client asks you
Mhm.
for blurred shadows, and
Mhm.
this is here inside is in the case the client asks you for soft shadows, depends of the gamma. Yeah, right now I'm going to put the gamma by default. I'm going to blur it just a little, 1.2, okay, just a little. Okay, now that you're happy with the shadows and the blurred and the intensity of the shadows, now let's play with the position of the highlights.
Mhm.
First of all, as you can see, this composition is kind of symmetric. If you put here an axis,
Mhm.
it's pretty much kind of symmetrical.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's not a good idea use symmetric lining orientation and also symmetric composition. It's repetitive, it's redundant. So
Uh-huh.
rather than do that, I prefer when my composition is symmetric or is composition kind of boring. So I prefer to rotate a little bit the orientation of the sun and give
Mhm.
it some, other not uniform pattern. Yeah.
Mhm.
And with this is the horizontal rotation and this is the vertical rotation. The horizontal rotation works in degrees, as you know, but the vertical rotation works in a regular number. So you can go little by little, these are not degrees, by the way. And this is how you can control where you are going to put exactly your highlight.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For example, I would like to extend a little bit more the highlights until here, for example. No, a
Mhm.
little bit more. Yeah, and now the highlights are here. See? You
Yeah.
don't like it. You don't like it with the light pointing to the left? No problem. Let's try pointing to the right and see in which direction the lighting is going to give you more natural shadows, more natural effect. For example, in my opinion, this is too much shadows, only a
Mhm.
few highlights. So I will prefer the other way. where you can see the highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see
That
it's
everything
more
come to
natural.
play.
Exactly. So this is how you can create this kind of the shadows in interior. When the client asks you for shadows in interior, this is how you can create. Depending how hard, how soft, how dark, you can customize that using the
Santi, can I ask you?
yeah, sure.
You never to create, it's only for me interesting background when you create a commercial visualization.
Oh yeah, I can create. Yeah, for sure I can create. If you
You
want to
create
replace
sometimes, yeah,
yeah,
it's a good idea to create it, or it's better not to create no one, because we spoke before that it's going to be by the medium with
amazing question, Xenia. This is one of the best questions that the students more of the time ask. And let me give you my answer. If you have a very reflective surface in interior, for example, I don't know, like marble floor or something like that in a kitchen, for example, right? And you're really sure that the exterior is going to be reflected, I highly recommend replace the background in 3D in Corona. But if you don't have any reflective areas, it's more easily replace the background in post-production. Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to show you how to replace the background here in Corona. First of all, what I need to do is, once again, create a new Corona bitmap. Okay. And I highly recommend download a picture or HDRI of the background that you want to put, right? So for example, here I already download this is HDRI. Can you see with this background? I'm going to open. Yeah, great. Now, of course, always added a Corona color correct in order to customize the HDRI. That is important. And I'm going to call this one override HDRI. Yeah. Now, go to the override sections here and enable direct visibility and enable refraction visibility, both of them. Drag and drop here. Instance and another instance. Yeah. And now it's just a matter of the UV mapping, right? Yeah, you can choose screen. I think most of the time it's going to work good. You can rotate a little bit, right? Like, I don't know, 20 degrees, 30 degrees. You just rotate until, you find a good spot in the background. So for example, in my opinion, that is a really nice spot, but actually it's not matching with the light. So probably we can put the sun a little bit more to the right, I guess, in order to match. Can you see? Because otherwise it's not going to match. Yeah, you can put it a little bit more. Yeah, and now also you can rotate in vertical as well. Until match with the horizontal line, right? There you go. And after that, you can play a little bit with the tiling. Yeah, the tiling is going to allow you to tiling is going to allow you to match better the background. Oh, sorry, it's 1.5 could be 1.1. Yeah, also 1. A little more, 1.5. Yeah, and now if you're happy with the result or whatever, I'm going to just rotate it. Sorry, a little bit more in the vertical. Sorry, a little bit more in the vertical.
So you use for background HDRI map?
Yeah,
No one
HDRI.
time
Yeah.
to create like a light portal with some more picture bitmap inside.
Yeah, could be, but the quality of the HDRI is better than the JPEG for sure. Yeah, because you can control the exposure and everything. So right now that I'm kind of happy with the result, let me just also try to put here 1.5. Yeah, or probably, one second, probably I'm going to change the rotation to the left for this time. So I'm going to try to 190, 200. Yeah, I would like to put the sun a little bit more to the other side. Yeah, 60. No, 40. -16, -16. Yeah, and now go back. Yeah, in order to match the perspective, right? The horizontal line is important to match. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, now let's do the bracketing because right now it looks fake. The background looks absolutely fake. So what I need to do is, of course, it's kind of obviously I need to increase the exposure. That's, of course, kind of obviously needs to look completely like overexposed. Yeah. Or if it's not working really good, also you can remove the contrast by increasing the gamma. 2 times, 3 times, not too much, of course. 1.5. Yeah. And also increasing the exposure a little bit. Yeah. That is how you can do like an exposure compensation. Also, you can add a little bit more of saturation if you want. If it looks like it's not really saturated, yeah, you can add a little bit. Yeah, you can change the hue. For example, I would like to make a note to the green, a little bit more to the blue. Can you see? And now it's like a bluish color. But I think I need a little bit more of exposure, I think. How you can understand if you need more exposure, because it's not matching the exposure of this frame of the window is not matching well outside and looks fake. Can you see? Yeah, so I need to add more exposure then. 4 times. Yeah. And now it's matching better. Can you see? Now it's the same exposure that I have outside is very similar to the exposure that I have in the edge of the frame. Can you see? Now it's no difference. And this is how you can pretty much like correct the background inside 3ds Max, right? Inside 3ds Max. Yeah, it's really interesting. So just let me control better the tiling.
I never tried to create it like this for interior.
Really? Oh, it's really easy, as you can see. Yeah, the result is really natural. And actually, I don't even adding, like, for example, I don't even adding bloom and glare, and it's still looking natural, as you can see. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very comfortable variant. I only think now where to find so many interesting pictures for
Oh, this is, don't worry. Let me help you with that.
houses.
Let's go to CG, no, HDRI Heaven. You can find it for free.
Really?
Yeah,
I never
they are
heard about it.
100% free. Yeah, so go here to the HDRIs and you're going to, I download from here.
Wait.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
so you have very interesting backgrounds. Yeah, especially right now that you're in Switzerland. Yeah, you have like snowy background. Yeah, there you go, snowy background.
I need to
Yeah,
create
this is
something
the
with
one.
mountains, actually. Yeah, because in Switzerland it's everywhere mountains.
Yeah, for example, this is the one that I'm using. Yeah, this is the one that
Mhm.
I'm using. So pretty much I can go here. You can
Oh, super. It's
you
really
can
very cool. I
download.
didn't know about it.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you very
can
much.
download. Yeah, you can download from here. And you can use this one if you want. Yeah, why not? You know, why not? Now, for example, I'm going to download, I think 4K is more than enough for a test. Right? No, this is only for the background. You don't need like a maximum quality, right?
Of course.
Right now, let's go and replace. So go here, what says low map. There's no field. Yeah, probably the horizontal line is a little bit higher, as you can see, right? So I need to decrease the horizontal line, put it down by playing with the vertical rotation. Yeah, and there you go, a beautiful snowy background outside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
looks really super.
yeah, looks really nice. Depending of the position of the sun, of course, you have to match. Of course, this is important, the position of the sun and everything. But the majority of the time is easily to match. Yeah, there you go. Now you can see the snow there outside. It's a really nice and really calm, really relaxed background, as you can see.
Yeah, super one. Really very cool. It's very
Yeah,
nice,
also
very nice resource. I didn't hear about it really. I never.
really.
No,
Oh
I
yeah, I haven't also, but an student told me, Santi, do you know this website? You can download HDRI for free. And I said, really? And he told me, yes, probably the quality is not really good for lighting. I'm going to be honest. You know, it's not really good for lighting, but for replace the background, it's really cool, as you
That's
can
so
see.
good. Yeah, I
It's
like it
really,
very
really,
much. Now it's perfect how it's plain. I think it's
yeah. We have
special.
to add probably a little bit more of exposure. It looks a little bit dark, yeah. And if you want to complete the magic, you can add a little bit, just a little bit of lumen glare, and there you go. Yeah, it looks absolutely, absolutely natural. The lighting, can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks really, really like alive. You know, it's not looking anymore like a render. Yeah, the bracketing is a little bit lower, so I don't have too much compensation. It's because the shadows, right? Because the shadows. But anyway, it's looking natural, as you can see. Yeah. Another important thing about the bracketing, it is the fact that the more small it is the windows, or the less windows you have, the more overexposed it is going to look the interior. But the more windows, the bigger the windows you have, the more clear is going to look the outside. Also depends of the amount of light that is going to come from outside to inside. Yeah, can you see? A small windows always are going to look overexposed. Always
Absolutely.
small windows. But the more windows, the bigger the windows it is, you know, the less overexposed it is going to look. Yeah. For example, this looks absolutely fake. You
Oh,
see,
yeah.
it's too much perfect the background to be real. My opinion, it looks fake. My opinion looks absolutely fake. Yeah, there you go. Fantastic. Okay, so questions, comments about
No, I
this
only
first
asked
part?
about the background, how because it was really very interesting for me to listen to
Mm-hmm.
you about this point. Where to download? I asked about this girl. I asked actually because I'm really interested where to find them. But it's today. You said it's. I think you only ask Google for this point
Yeah,
for like a
yeah.
persons and.
Let me put a link here on Skype. I'm going to put a link here on Skype in order you can check it later. You can download from here. Okay, great.
Yeah,
Now
sure.
let's go back to our original project, and then now I'm going to use the first HDRI, the overcast, and I'm going to replace here. Yep, this is how it looks like, you know, like the classic approach. Okay, great. Now, probably this is one of the most interesting part of the course. If you remember, the use of the reference inside my workflow was really, really important, right? If you remember, right? I use reference pretty
Absolutely.
much for everything, right? I don't really like to guess. I prefer to go directly to the result. So, uh, so many years ago, really, really many, many years ago, I was wondering how I can take advantage of this reference. How is possible be inspired from reference, something that you like it, you know, a picture or whatever you like it. So I save my reference, especially my Instagram account. I really like to save all my reference there. And I was thinking,
Wow.
you know, there are some reference that I really like the colors. It's not only the idea or the concept. It's about the color. For example, I found amazingly beautiful this color balance, or in general the colors.
Yeah.
It's something, or these colors. You know, I really like it. So how can take advantage of these? How I can be inspired by these colors in order to create color palette? Because to be honest, it's really common to the client ask you, "Oh, okay, could you do these 3D renderings of this interior, and also you can do the how is you can do the interior design as well, right?" But the problem is, in my opinion, interior design and do a 3D rendering of an interior are completely different. Not all the visualizers are interior designers.
Yeah.
For some visualizers, could be really difficult start with an empty room. How to choose the color, how to choose the furniture, how to choose the accessories could be difficult. Could be difficult. So thinking about that, I was saying, okay, probably I can use 3D models or library, whatever. But what about the color? How I can customize the color of these things? Well, this is the answer. Use of the reference for the color. What I'm going to do is, for example, I'm going to be inspired from one of these pictures. I'm going to select one of these one, and I'm going to do a color extraction. I'm going to extract the color from these,
Mm-hmm.
and using that, I'm going to create, for example, a color palette for the interior. Yeah. So tell me, you can choose any picture that you like it, and I can extract the colors, and we can play with.
I need to be honestly, stop. During for the last months, I was thinking to create something with some neon and
Mm-hmm.
with a little bit dust, a fog, not
Mm-hmm.
dust, fog,
No,
something
actually,
different. But now we're
actually, we're going.
speaking about another way.
Yeah, exactly. That is a completely different way. Exactly. So, for example, let me give you an example. I think probably we can use. Let me see. Let me see. I'm going to choose a reference, and I'm going to show you how it works. So, the second example, you are going to choose the image, or sorry, you're going to tell me how to do the distribution. So, one second. Let me find a really, because work with these and copy the materials and copy the
Mm-hmm.
color, that is simple. To be honest, everybody do that.
Mm-hmm.
There is no creativity.
Mm-hmm.
There is no creativity in that. It's just a copy. The thing that I'm going to show you, it's going to be really unique, and I'm really sure that you're going to like it a lot because it's a different way to face the interior design. So let me find a really cool reference. Something that I see that has a lot of potential in
To be
color.
honest, I like the most part of them. I'm sitting now.
Yeah.
I think that I would like to create one work um, for my portfolio with really some this kind of light
Yeah, of
fog
course, of
and with
course.
neon and something like this.
So, for example, I love this color combination, but let me see if I can find something. Oh, this is cool. Really, really the saturate. Really the saturate color palette. Really, really the saturate.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's see another one. Yeah, for example, I save everything that, in my opinion, I found highly inspirational. A color,
Yeah.
an idea, concept, exterior, interior, whatever. Even this, in my opinion, is interesting in order to
Mm-hmm.
understand better how the fog is working.
Yeah,
So
it's
I
very
save
good.
it. Yeah, I save whatever you think it's has a lot of potential for color, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Ah,
I don't
we
know
can
where you
use
found
this.
everything.
Yeah, we can. I love this color, for example. I really do. I love these colors. Okay, so for example, I'm going to take these pictures. I
Mm-hmm.
love the yellow mixed with the brown. I think it's working good. So I'm going to save this image and I'm going
Yeah.
to call it reference. Yeah. Now I'm going to go to these. I'm going to go to this website. Call it Adobe Color Wheel. If you remember, we
Mm-hmm.
used
Mm-hmm.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put here in English. Extract theme. Yeah, so select the reference and we're going to extract the colors. And there you go. These are the colors. Now, the thing that I need to do is be sure that the colors that I'm going to use are pretty much like well balanced in a way to
Mm-hmm.
say, right? So, for example, I prefer like these like chocolate brown. Also, I would like to sample. What else? I think. Probably I can sample two shades of
Oh.
this orange could be a good idea, I guess. Yeah, there you go. I think this is going to be my color palette. What do you think?
Yeah, it's look very nice.
So far, I mean, looks really well balanced. So okay, now this is the interesting part. First of all, we're going to start with the overcast, neutral temperature mood, no harsh shadows, really soft. And
Mm-hmm.
now let's customize the material. So I'm going to start, of course, with the bigger part of the interior, and I'm talking about the walls. By the
Yeah.
way, let me remove the glossiness because I have like a kind of like a dirt effect that I
Mm-hmm.
don't really like it. So yeah, now it's okay. Now check this. Rather than copy the hex code that I have here, because you remember we have this hex code. Rather than copy that, I'm going to just sample the color. It's basically the same. So select the material from the wall,
Mm-hmm.
go to the diffuse, Go to the color, and now I'm going to select. So as I mentioned before, this first example, I'm going to do it by myself. The second one, I'm going to ask you, okay? So I would like to start with the green in the walls, for example, okay? It's, as I mentioned before, I'm just trying to follow my personal instinct, right? So I need to select these, this object, and also I'm going to make it the same green. Yeah, great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust by hand. Can you see? Even if it is the same green, it's not looking the same here.
Yeah.
And the reason is simple, because I'm adding a little bit more of general contrast. If I put the contrast in one, probably it's going to be more close. Okay? But anyway, how to fix this by hand? It's go where it is the reference. Sorry, go where it is the color of the material, and let's customize by hand. First of all, I think it's more desaturated. Yeah, and a little bit more to this color. And now compare. This is the key.
Yeah.
Always compare. Can you see? And slightly more desaturated. Sorry, I'm not wrong. Slightly more desaturated. Yeah. Great. Now I think it's that beautiful soft green. A little bit of yellow. Sorry. I need to add a little bit of yellow to that color. Yes. There you go. Now it's pretty similar, as you can see. Pretty similar. Okay. Now let's continue. I'm going to continue, for example, with the, I'm going to customize, for example, the ceiling, the material from the ceiling. Probably I can use the material from the upper part. So go once again here. And if you want also, you can sample directly from the image if you want. Okay, so go here and sample this color. Yeah, it's a little bit more desaturated, like this. A little bit more bright. The color is not really like super dark. And there you go. Compare once again. Yep, really similar color to this one. So happy. So now let's go, for example, with the doors. For the doors and window frames, probably I can select like this color from here, probably might works. So go here, go to the diffuse, sample this one. Yeah, looking good. It's really similar. It's like this dark shade of green. Yeah, so you can see, yes, there is a difference. This is light green, dark green, so it's working good. Now that the color is inside 3ds Max, it's more easy because you can do right click, copy, and you can customize the other objects. You know, for example, the window frames, for example. Yeah, now everything that is with wood is with this beautiful soft green color. Yeah, so far we're doing good. Okay, now let's customize the floor. Of course, for the floor I'm going to put the beautiful brown chocolate, this color from here. But with the floor is a little bit different because the floor already have a map in the material, right? So if you can go here to the diffuse.
Or it can be flow generation, for example. And,
exactly.
With,
yeah. So yeah, could be a multiple material, of course. And you see, it's using a map. So I'm not going to destroy the material. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the diffuse. So no map. I'm going to turn off. And now I'm just going to sample the color. Sorry, it's a little bit here. And now I'm going to sample this chocolate color. Yeah. And because I'm not turning off the other maps, can you see? The reflection is looking the same. The bump is looking the same. I'm only changing the color. Yeah, but by the way, it's not even close to this. So I need a little bit more of red, I guess. I need a little bit more of green also. Yeah, now compare. Looks a little bit more like this. It's more brown actually, right? It's more brown. It's more like dark brown. Well, if it's not working, simple. You can, as I mentioned before, also sample that color. Yeah, make that slightly stronger. I think right now we are even close. Yeah, right now we're even close. I'm just going to add a little bit more of saturation. And what do you think? Yeah, looks really similar.
By the middle of the picture, I think.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Looks really similar. Can you see?
If it will
Yeah.
be a multi-texture, it will be exactly same texture.
Multi-texture, exactly. Just disable the other materials and only keep it with one, or customize all of them with the same color if it's multi-texture. Yeah. But anyway, as you can see, it's so easy to customize, and it's not looking flat because I'm not changing the other maps.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, or if you want to have the original material, the only thing that you need to do is turn off diffuse, and there you go. Now you can see the original bitmap again. Yeah. So that is the reason why this is not destructive. Yeah, it's a friendly customization, but it's not going to destroy your material. So that is good because you can go back at any time. Yeah, if you don't like it, you can have the original material. Okay, as you can see, pretty much I was following the distribution, the color distribution of the reference. You know, these clouds, I put it here. The color of the green, I put it here. And now I think it's going to be kind of obviously the orange bikini. I'm going to put it in the main sofa, right? Yeah. So go here to the sofa. This is the material, and this is example, for example, of complex material. If you go to the diffuse, you are going to find inside the diffuse a fall-off because this is a sweat, right? This is kind of like a sweat. So once again, do not destroy the material. Turn off, yeah, and sample. So I'm going to sample the color for this. And now I'm going to sample the color for this. And there you go. Yeah, what do you think? Simple as that.
Yeah.
Right? Simple as that, yeah. There you go. And the last thing that probably I need to customize probably is the carpet. Yeah, the carpet. So I'm going to select the carpet and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to turn off the diffuse. And now I'm going to be able to, for example, I would like to play with a little bit more darker version of the brown. For example, this darker version, yeah. But I'm going to make it not so much darker. So I'm going to yeah, try to keep the harmony in the color, yeah. Probably slightly desaturated, and yeah, there you go. Yeah. And finally, what I'm going to do is, for example, I would like to have the same green color that I have here. I'm going to copy, and I'm going to put it in this furniture, right? So here I already sampled the materials, by the way, as you can see, right? I already sampled the materials. All the materials are here. So paste it here and disable the diffuse. And now it has this beautiful green color, and also the chair. I think it would be really nice that matches, right, with the other wood. So go here, disable the diffuse, and paste the color. Now the chair is also, it has this beautiful green. And by the way, the pillows. Yeah, so copy the diffuse because this is a multi-sub object. This is the material of the pillows, and replace it here by paste instance, and there you go. Now you have the orange in the pillows. And now let's compare. This is my reference for the color palette, and this is the result. What do you think about this technique?
I think it's very cool because I never think to create interior with some reference by the lighting, by the color things. I need to be honestly, it's the first time in my life that I think about it like this. But it's really very interesting. It's really very cool.
Yeah,
and, I have some question actually for you because now I was sitting to remember.
Yeah, it's really interesting because it's a different way.
Absolutely.
As a designer, you have your favorite colors, right? You have your favorite color palette. You know, everybody has their favorite colors.
Hmm.
But what about if you want to do something else, something
Yeah,
creative?
of course, of course.
Exactly. Huh?
Colors actually started by the concept boards because at the first you create
Exactly.
concept boards
The
and
concept is the most
mood
important
board.
part.
Absolutely. Without this, no chance to
Exactly.
create something interesting. Mood board, concept
Exactly.
boards, material boards, and after to
That
create.
is the reason that I'm
Hmm.
really sure that you're going to take this technique to the next level because your personal taste for interior design already it's amazingly accurate. So if you can mix or you can add this new technique to your workflow, I'm really sure that the results are going to be even better, more creative. And the first time, why this technique is so important to teach to my students is because this is going to open new possibilities about
Hmm.
mix the color. For example, honestly, I never thought to mix the brown with a green.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite colors, but somehow it's working good in this example. Looks balanced.
Yeah,
Looks
absolutely.
with harmony. Yeah, it's not looking ugly. It's not looking like a really cheap taste. It's looking good. So this is the best part. The more you do color extractions, the more you're going to realize the possibility of mixing different colors that probably you never thought you're going to mix in that way. Yeah, so that is the best part. Okay, tell me your question, please.
I was thinking about it in commercial visualization. We never use no lights because it's no reason. It's every time Sunday or sunlight correctly one, and no one time we not turn on no one light. And I think that if we will be in the bathroom and we don't have no one window, we need to turn on light for commercial
Oh,
visualization.
yeah, for commercial visualization. Well, that is also really interesting question. Yeah, I know that you can find a project that has no windows and
Hmm.
only artificial light. So what you
Yeah.
can do, it's of course there is no other way, only use artificial lighting. But try to use an artificial lighting that it is neutral.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
Because for example, here I have like let's here I have like electric bulb, and
Hmm.
I think this is a light material if I'm not wrong. Yeah, it's a light material. So what about if I use like a warm light in interior, super warm light in interior? That is going to start to create like a warm color everywhere,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Especially here if you put a mid light. Can you see?
Yeah.
At the moment that you introduce warm artificial light, that
Hmm.
is going to let me just 1 second. Let me just in order you can see better. I'm going to make a region. 1 second, please. Yeah, and now let's see the difference. You put a mid light or use any light. Can you see how
Hmm.
it's changing all your color approach?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you have a really small space
Hmm.
and no windows, I highly recommend go here and use a
Zero.
temperature, a
Hmm.
neutral temperature.
Just
Yeah.
make it natural.
Yeah. As
Hmm.
long with this, you're going to try to not affect the colors.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going to have light. Everything is going to look good, but the idea is do not affect the colors.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Done.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And there you go. Great. Yeah, this is with this picture. Depending on the picture, you're going to have two options.
Hmm.
This is the first option. Follow the color distribution of the picture like I did, like I did. I was
Yeah.
putting the main color in the middle, the clouds in the upper part, the greens on the here, the brown on the floor, it's like following the distribution in the
Hmm.
reference. The other option is forget complete about the color distribution. Once you have the colors, just use the colors as you want, and you can put
Hmm.
it. No, it's your decision. You can put the yellow, the orange in the walls. It's up to you. It's up to you. Yeah, and I'm telling you that is really funny because, as I mentioned before, not all the artists knows about interior design. Be an interior designer or have knowledge of interior designing for sure is in a huge advantage when you're doing interior renderings. It's a huge advantage. I am an industrial designer and I study a little bit of our interior design at the university not like really, how can I say, like a really deep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I know the basics, for example. Yeah, I know the basics. But the more knowledge you have about interior design, you can be able to play, you know, and create amazingly results. Yeah, amazing results. So let me select a reference for you. Let me select a reference for you, and now you are going to be the one that is going to tell me where I'm going to put the colors. Okay? Let me select.
Okay.
Let me select. Yeah, I would like to use this
I like it very much.
one. Let's try this one. I have beautiful colors, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, super
Kind of
one.
like a really, really interesting color combination.
And I
So
think
don't matter the
for a
don't
portfolio,
yeah
need to
don't
create something like this. Mm-hmm.
exactly no matter the topic. Don't worry about the topic of the picture. Could be an exterior, an interior, a
Absolutely.
portrait, an illustration,
Mm-hmm.
another rendering. No matter. But if you see that the picture has a lot of potential with color, take it. Take
Mm-hmm.
it as a reference, right? That is the best. That is the best advice. Okay, so I'm going to help you with the color extraction here. Yeah. Sorry, there you go. Now let me know if for example, the colorful is good. I think at the first time that I see it's kind of interesting, kind of like a harmony in the
Maybe to
color.
take a little bit of green because
Yeah, because there is some
physically
green,
light.
exactly.
Yeah.
Good. These are the muted. So for example, I don't like the muted. Yeah, it's taking the white from the light, so I
Mm-hmm.
don't have too much white. So the deep, this purple is too much strong, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. I don't
Mm-hmm.
like it. Oh, the dark, of course, too dark. Probably I'm going to keep with the colorful. And my suggestion is probably I can take this pinky color that is pretty much too much saturated, and probably I'm going to sample something like the beautiful soft green in interior. But also try to be sure that the color that you're going to sample, as you can see, have the same amount of saturation, because easily
Yeah.
you can sample something that is, for example, this is not working, it's
Mm-hmm.
desaturated, looks really awkward. So be sure that the color that you select must be with the same intent. For example, this is nice. I really like it. Probably too much in my opinion, but something in the middle, probably something like this. Yeah, like this in my opinion. And if you want it, you can, just put it like this or whatever you want. I think I'm sampling the main colors. Probably this one is too much dark. Probably could be really nice, like a soft version of purple. And probably we can put like this.
And
What do
maybe
you
to
think?
create a little bit more softer blue one because he is really very strong only for
This
small
one?
accents. Mm-hmm.
This one? Probably. Let me help you with that. Yeah, we have to be really sure about these corrections, the way that you are selecting, because the idea is be really accurate, right, with the color. Probably this one. Yeah, this one is working good. What do you think?
Yeah, but for accent things maybe for accent things a small one because it's very colorful, strong one.
Do you think?
I
So,
think for not for walls, for example, or something like this, it will be
oh
different.
yeah, this is for a really specific accessory or
Yeah, for
furniture.
accessories,
Yeah,
yeah, for small points like accent.
yeah. Yeah, so probably we can try to find like yeah, the problem is this color is strong by itself, But here I have another oh, that one. That one?
Yeah, it's more soft.
Yeah, more soft, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more soft. Yeah, there you go. Now
Mm-hmm.
you can see a beautiful gradient, so I
Yeah,
think it's working good.
yeah, very cool.
Yeah, so probably this one is slightly saturated in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, so let's saturate it a
Yeah.
little bit. Oh yeah,
Now it's
there you go,
perfect.
we
Yeah.
got it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to I'm going to I'm going to save it because I really love it. Yeah. You can save it, by the way, if you have like a Behance profile. Oh yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
have a Behance profile,
Yeah,
right?
I have.
So you can save the color extraction here, and you can save it for later. Beautiful, beautiful color. I think palette is going to work really interesting. Okay, now I'm all ears. Now you're going to tell me which color you want to use and in a really specific part of the interior. So let's
Mm-hmm.
start with the walls.
Uh,
And we are
Maybe
going
to
to call
create
it
a dark
color
one.
one. Yeah, okay. We're going to call it color 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3,
I
4.
think by the two, to try it by the second one, or for the
Second
third.
one.
Second or
Okay.
third. I'm thinking about these 2 points because one can to be a very, how can to say, dark and evening interior,
Yeah.
and another one can to be a little bit more light.
Yeah, and let me also reduce a little bit the reflectivity of this one because right now it looks like too much reflective. Yeah, better,
And
better,
here it
better,
looks
better.
very dark. I think that.
Yeah, don't worry. We're going to also after
Mhm.
that we're going to rebalance the exposure and everything. Don't worry. Yeah, I'm going to measure. Yeah, working good. Probably I'm going to decrease the glossiness even more. Yeah, now it's better. Yeah, can you see?
Mhm.
Like a
Absolutely.
matte reflection, right? Matte reflection. Yeah,
It's one of the
great.
variant like this. Maybe for silence to take a short one.
Let's continue, for example, with the ceiling. Which color do you like to give it to the ceiling?
I think the short one.
The third one.
Yeah,
Okay.
it will
So,
be a dark interior,
yep,
like a
no
private
problem.
interior or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
exactly. So let's see the third one. Yeah, and also it's interesting decision because you are also following kind of like the
Oh,
distribution of
actually, yes.
your. Yeah. So
I
yeah,
look it
it's
only by this
nice.
line.
Yeah,
I look
it's
it all by
nice.
this line and now I see.
Yeah, it's nice. So I'm just going to desaturate a little bit here because in my opinion also, yeah, like this. Now looks better. Yeah, more. Okay, what about for the windows, all the things from wood? The doors, the windows, the frames of the doors, the frames of the windows. Which color do you think is going to work good?
Pinky, I think about pinky, but I'm not sure because, for example, if a sofa to create a green one by the cover, it will be like a maximum accent 1 point. But
Yeah, I think the maximum accent must go to the
sofa,
sofa
yeah,
without any doubt.
yeah.
Yeah, without any doubt.
And I think about the pinky one, but I'm not sure. Maybe to create it exactly same colors that we have for styling, to take a short one. Okay.
The third,
Yeah, to take
I
them.
think the third one, yeah, I think the third one is going to looks also really nice for
Yeah,
the
a little
woods.
bit
Yeah,
with dynamic.
yeah, and we can customize also. Yeah, so I'm going to paste it here. Here you go. Yeah, it's working absolutely great.
And
Yeah,
for
good.
the darkest one, of course.
Yeah, nice. You can see the difference, so it's working really nice. Yeah, great. What about, and also I'm going to put it here as well. Or I think with a slightly difference, probably we can choose this one. It's just a personal
For
suggestion.
four?
Let's see how it works. For the Oh no, it's very similar to the wall, so probably it's going to be better. Sorry, it's going to be better. Keep it with this one. What do you think? The chair and with this color. Yeah, it's kind of like a
Mm-hmm.
low soft purple. Okay, so far so good.
And
So
for the
far so
four,
good.
of course, the darkest one, if to create a
For
harmony.
the floor.
Yeah, for the four,
The floor.
to
Okay,
try
so
it
let's
will
go
look
for the
how it
dark
will
one. So let's
go.
select the first one, right? This one.
Mm-hmm. Only let's to look how it will go on.
Yeah, looking great. Looking great.
And
Yeah,
also for the green one and for carpet, the pinky.
yep, fantastic decision. So let's go here. Let's select this one. So I'm going to when I have only one color,
Mm-hmm.
for this one, what I like to do is like this. Just duplicate,
Mm-hmm.
and in order to feel the difference, you're going to make a little bit more like darker or saturated. One of the two. Yeah, in this one, probably I'm going to make saturated in this one. Like in order to establish like slightly different, it's two different kind of greens. Can you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit less saturated. Yeah, can you see? I'm creating two different tones. And for the carpet, you told me this one, the
But
four one,
now
right?
sofa is not so powerful by the color. Now I think maybe to create the sofa by the pinky one. Let's
Probably.
yeah, let's maybe to try and
Yeah, let's try it because this is a try and error. Try and error. It's not
mm-hmm.
the final result, right? So probably, what about this one? Let me try with this one. Oh, sorry. Very sorry. Yeah. Let's see how it works. Working good. I like it. Or if you want, we can use this one. I don't know what do you like the most, or if you like it, we can try also this one.
I think that we
I
need to get more accent for sofa because now we lose this color. It need to be more
do you think
colorful.
slightly more saturation for sofa?
I am thinking maybe to create it more neon, like a more neon green one, that it will be so strong
Okay.
accent.
So also there is a kind of like a shade of yellowish color. Can you see? So let me try with this kind of green. Okay, it's kind of yellowish. And this one I'm going to just saturate a little bit more. Also give it a little bit more of light. Uh, We can change the Fresnel. Yeah, now I have the accents here. Or let me try to towards away also. In order to understand this better, probably what I'm going to do in order to understand this better is like this. I'm going to put this one really red, don't worry. And the other one I'm going to put like really green. And now I'm going to see how it's behaving, how it's mixing. Yeah. So this is towards the way. This is perpendicular parallel. So as you can see, the green color is in the highlights and the
Yeah.
red color is shadows. So because this is in the highlights, probably I'm going to use kind of like
Yeah.
this color, in the highlights. And this one I can use like kind of this other color. Yeah. And now I can probably saturate it just a little bit more in order to make more visible the accents. Can you see? And I think we got it. Yeah, we got it. Looks better. It's not that solid green. It's a
Yeah.
green between yellowish, like this interior.
And carpet
Yeah,
decorate more powerful by the color to create it more by maybe pinky one in the fourth.
the fourth, this one. Yeah, actually, probably we can desaturate, right? A little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, like this. And yeah, congratulations. There you go. Let's give it a look. Let's give it a look. What was the reference? I think I put it here. Okay, and now let's compare the beautiful reference and the beautiful result. There you go. What do you think?
It looks like that
Looks
we need to create some
interesting.
neon.
Yeah, of course, as I mentioned before, the first try is not the final. Yeah, you need to test different times, and see how it goes every single time. Yeah, for
But I
sure.
like it. I think it's really very cool.
Yeah, I think
It's
it's
really
working.
nice.
The harmony that you achieve and the decisions that you made are really working really nice. It's a wonderful, wonderful result. But of course, also we can take this to the next level. For example, by applying a slightly color grading or color correction. So, for example, as you can see, there is a lot of purple and bluish in the shadows and highlights. So, if you want to do something like that, we need to use the curves, right? So, for example, as I mentioned before, there is no pure white. The white is bluish.
Yeah.
So you can go to the blue and increasing the highlights a little bit. Can you see? And now it's taking the same mood, right? And just doing a slight color correction and it's taking that bluish. Now I see a lot of purple in the shadows, so select the green and pull down the green, only in the shadows. Yeah, now turn on, turn off. Yep, there you go. Also, the contrast looks like wash out contrast. So select the brightness. You can pull down the dark and a little bit and pull up this. It is going to create that wash
Yeah.
out shadows effect. Yeah, there you go. Now increase a little bit the exposure. Yeah, looking nice. And At this point, we can replace the background, I think, because can you see right now the
Mm-hmm.
amount of bloom and glare that I'm having? It's really no accurate. You have more here. Can you see? It's not uniform.
Yeah.
Even if I blur it a lot, it's not uniform. It's looking weird, as you
Mm-hmm.
can see, right? So how to change that? Very simple. We are going to use the same HDRI that I use, the main HDRI, and I'm going to duplicate, and I'm going to change the name. I'm going to put it override. It's like replace the background, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
So go to your render setup. We're going to replace the background with this new HDRI. But the thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to increase a lot the gamma because I need a wash out image, and that is going to automatically create yes, more soft.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you see the bloom
Yeah.
and glare. Yeah. Now I'm
Absolutely
going
different
to
colors.
decrease this,
Big
and now
difference.
I
Yeah.
can customize the bloom and glare. Yeah, probably I'm going to put like one. I'm going to extend a lot the bloom and glare. Yeah, decrease of course the glare, decreasing slightly the bloom. Yeah, only make just a little bit, 0.1, 0.75, and there you go. You see a really
Mm-hmm.
subtle bloom and glare effect
Yeah.
that is improving anymore.
Yeah.
And now, without you realize, we are jumping from something commercial to
Yeah.
something natural. Yeah, now
Actually,
looks
yeah.
natural. Yeah, this is the beginning of the natural approach. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I added the course correction. Yeah, it's working good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even using a LUT. Yeah, it's without a LUT, and I'm adding, of course, a little bit of lumen glare that you know that is not good for commercial, but
Mm-hmm.
of course is really useful for personal. Yeah, for natural lighting approach. And there you go.
Yeah, for commercial, of course, no bloom and no
Yeah,
curves. I think it's
exactly.
the same
But for
choice.
natural, can
Mm-hmm.
you see? It's really, really good. Yeah, there you go. What do you think about the technique? I think the technique has a lot of
Oh, really
potential.
super. It's
You
very
can,
nice.
yeah, you can take it these absolutely in a different ways. You
Mm-hmm.
can, as I mentioned before, it's about trial and error. One of the most difficult part of these techniques are three parts that are really challenging. The first one, of course, select a good reference.
Mm-hmm.
The second one is do a proper or, well, in a way to say, like a correct color extraction.
Mm-hmm.
It's because, as you can see, it's not easy to select the right colors. And the third one is one of the most challenging part. It is the color distribution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but because you are experiencing interior design, I think the experimentation with the color distribution is going to be kind of easy for you. I guess. I
Hope.
guess it's going to be. I guess it's going to be kind of easy because you know how to play with colors. So I guess. Now let me show you. I'm going to stop this. Now let me show you the results that some of my students got after applying this, and in order you get also inspired with these results. So, for example, I have this from Javier. Javier is from here, from Ecuador. So this was the reference. Beautiful
Yeah,
reference, by the
super
way.
one. Mm-hmm.
And this was the result.
Anyway,
Well, I think really cool,
yeah,
right?
absolutely, really cool.
Yeah. Even it's not like exactly the same color
Mm-hmm.
because this one looks desaturated, and
Yeah.
here the color palette looks a little bit saturated. Even it's not completely like here, exactly the same colors, but you can see the beauty in the color approach.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, looks really well balanced. I don't know what is your opinion, but in terms of color, I see a lot of harmony. I
I
see a lot of
think exactly
beauty.
same. I need to be honest. Everything is really absolutely correct by the harmony, by the lights. So super one.
Yeah. For example, this is the other reference that he
Mm-hmm.
chose. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting, really
Mm-hmm.
interesting, and this was the result. Yeah. So pretty much the result, Xenia, depends of the reference, right? Depends
Of
pretty
course.
much. Depends pretty much on the reference. Let me show you another one. Um, Another one from interiors. I have another Xenia student, by the way. Yeah,
And she's Russian
yeah,
too, I see.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also a really talented girl, to be honest. Really, really talented girl. She is really, really talented. Um, and let me show you the homework that he did for the color extraction. Yeah, as you can see at the first time, kind of, when I see the reference, was
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not really sure. Looks kind of, to be honest, know the best. But after see how she applied, was like, wow, now we're talking.
Anyway.
Now we're talking. Yeah, yeah. Probably the reference at the first time can be a little bit boring, the way to
Yeah.
say it, but the result was really good.
Yeah,
I really
absolutely
like it.
cool.
Actually, this is interesting. It's not even a picture. Actually, it's a painting,
Oh,
right?
really?
It's a painting. Yeah, yeah, it's a painting of a beach. Can you see the strokes
Oh,
of the
yeah.
paint? Yeah, the strokes there, yeah, of the brush. It's a painting, and this was the result.
Anyway.
Yeah, super nice,
Mm-hmm,
super super
absolutely.
nice. Yeah, yeah. Great. Let me show you another thing, or you feel inspired.
No, I
You
really
feel
enjoy and I'm
inspired.
sitting and enjoying by the result because it's very cool, so interesting result with I never work I worked with some pictures and references when you create only concept things, but no one time when you create
Exactly.
the last point of the result.
Yeah, exactly. So
Oh, so
check
nice.
this. Wonderful. This is
Yeah,
absolutely
super.
wonderful. Yeah. Really nice. Really
Absolutely.
nice. He
Mm-hmm.
captured the mood of the picture and he
Yeah.
put it inside.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put it
So
inside.
amazing carpet actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
This was also really interesting.
Yeah.
Goldish color
Yeah.
palette, right? Goldish color palette. Beautiful. The way that he played, beautiful, beautiful.
Absolutely.
John is really talented. Really, really talented. John is one of the most talented students that I've seen. He has these nice personal taste.
Mm-hmm.
His personal taste is really good in order to select the reference and do. And I was thinking, okay, was really nice. And he told me, you know what, the owl,
Mm-hmm.
the owl is like this.
Ah.
Yeah. He put it like this. Yeah, really, really interesting. Now let me show you
Oh, I really
another,
like it.
another really cool homeworks. Sometimes, probably we can think that only beautiful reference can make a beautiful
You're right.
result, but actually, it's not the true. For example,
Absolutely.
one of my students, really old students, he was doing the homework with his little daughter, and his little daughter said, "Papi, Daddy, can you use this picture that I found? I really like it." And when he saw the picture, it was a picture of a cartoon, a 3D
Mm-hmm.
cartoon, and he was like, "Okay, I'm going to try." Santi told me that every image can be useful,
Mm-hmm.
and was this?
Oh,
This was the picture, and this was the color extraction, as you can see here, and this was the result. Amazing
absolutely.
result. Amazing result.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, as you can see, every single image has
Mm-hmm.
a lot of potential to create
Absolutely.
beautiful color extractions. It's
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
necessary to select something that
Mm-hmm.
looks beautiful from the beginning. Pretty much depends in the way that you're going to sample the colors.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Now let me show you another example. This was the reference for an image that my student, also my
Mm-hmm.
good friend from Greece, he used a beautiful picture of the beach from above, and this was the result.
Ivy.
Yeah, but this has a more interesting result. First of all, it's pretty much visible that he used the reference as a
Yeah, yeah.
frame. Okay, that's
Yeah, I
visible.
saw.
But also he was really smart because he related the full concept.
Mm-hmm.
Beach, ocean, sea. So
Mm-hmm.
he put a captain of a ship. He
Mm-hmm.
put some sheep. He put some pictures of whales on the
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ocean. Can you see? So he did the complete concept based in the reference.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So the main concept was the ocean, the sea. He 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 copied not only the colors, he
Mm-hmm.
put another interesting objects or elements or accessory that represents as well the ocean.
Yeah.
Interesting, right? So this is one of the most useful techniques when you are a little bit you have this creativity or blocking. You're not sure
Mm-hmm.
about the colors that you want to use. You are not sure about anything. So yeah, every single time you can use this. Can you see
Mm-hmm.
the result always is going to be good? Yeah. Let me show you another one. Uh, yeah, for example, this is from one of my favorite series, Dark. I don't know if you have
Yeah.
seen in
Yeah.
Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I really like this picture. I have this interior, and as you can see, I extract the color and I use
Mm-hmm.
it like this.
It's so
Yeah, I use.
interesting, really. I'm great now analysis for everything and think it's so idea is so simple, but it's so interesting how it's work.
Yeah, yeah. So for example, this is another one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that I did with another student. This
Mm.
was the picture, this was the reference, and this was, as you can see, the result. So yeah, the result depends, 100% depends of the reference that you decide to use for the interior project. Yeah. So yeah, that's it. So now you are ready. You have all the techniques. You have all the concepts that you need in order to generate this. Sorry, let me turn off my phone, please.
Oh, no, no, it's okay.
In order to generate these modes. Yeah. Now the homework. What
Yeah.
is going to be homework?
Mm-hmm.
Practice this. What I need it is one commercial lighting approach, like we did at the beginning of the
Mm-hmm.
lesson. It's up to you adding shadows or not add shadows. It's up
Uh-huh.
to you. And I need at least two color extraction exercise.
So,
Okay,
uh-huh.
two color
Okay.
extraction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the file that I send you is not this one, by the way. The file that I send you is the latest one.
Mm-hmm.
So you are going to have even more fun because, as I mentioned before, I recently update. So this is the file that you're going to have.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
Mm-hmm.
So you can customize pretty much everything you want, the carpet, the sofa,
Mm-hmm.
so be sure that play whatever you want. Feel all the freedom for this
Mm-hmm.
homework, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But what I would like to see it's, as you see in the homework of my other students, the reference in one side and the result in the other side, and see how well you can do that. Okay?
Mm-hmm. 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 I
Great,
understand
great.
perfectly. How I can to take a file you will send me by one link or something
Yeah,
like this?
I already sent you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I already sent you. If not, let me send you here. Here is in Dropbox. So mastering interior lining. Let me copy the link, and now I'm going to put it here in Skype. 1 second. No. It's here. Yeah. There you go. Now you
Mm-hmm.
have everything that you need. And also, I'm going to give you a new pack of HDRIs completely for free.
Whee!
Yeah. Yeah, these HDRIs
Whee!
are these HDRIs are the new ones, are updated, faster to rendering and less noise. It's going to produce less noise.
Oh, super.
Yeah, great. So yeah, there you go. There you go. So now you have everything. Of course, if you have questions, you already know. If you have comments, problems, whatever, feel free to contact me. And we're going to continue the next week. Yeah.
The next week?
Yeah, the next week, as always, is one lesson per week in order you can have
No, no,
time
no,
to
no, 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 no.
practice.
It's not meaning that
Element.
I would like to create it more often. No, no, no. No, no. My question was more like, it's next week already. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah.
Okay.
One lesson per week, as always.
Mm-hmm. Can you say, Miss Santi, please, at what day you think it will be possible that only I will be ready for the planning for everything?
The contents, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, yeah. Here I have the contents. Yeah, the table of contents, right? That is what you're asking? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You're talking about what we are going to study, right? That is what you want to know.
No, I want to know. Would like to know it's what day we can to have a meeting.
Ah, when we are going to continue, when we are going to
Yeah,
be other.
only about
Okay,
today,
okay.
nothing more, because I will need to create a plan for the next week.
Yeah,
And
sure, sure. Okay, let me. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think could be next Monday, same time. It's
So the
okay
one,
for you?
yeah, it's okay
Yeah.
because we will go for trip for sort of 6, and that's why I would like to ask. Okay, so it will be
Yeah,
before my
yeah,
trip.
same Monday, same time, 11:30 my
Aha,
local
by
time.
time.
It will be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have different
Great.
7 hours.
Yeah.